Welcome to How to Become a Production SQL Database Administrator. My name is Raphael. In this video, we're going to look at the concept of linked servers. So what is a linked server? Well, a linked server allows you to access data from another SQL database instance or another database platform such as Oracle or Microsoft Access or any database platform that you can have an ODBC connection with, such as Postgres. And I'll be discussing that in further coming videos when you need ODBC connections. But for our purposes, right now, we're going to be connecting to an SQL database. So in this example, I'm going to be selecting data from another database using linked server, but it's going to be an SQL instance. So in this example, I want to access data from SQL server called this, and the database called AdventureWorks, and the table is called contact type. And in this, to resolve this issue, I'm going to be using what's called, or I'm going to be creating a linked server. So if you'll notice here on the left-hand side, I've got two instances. And if I expand those, and obviously this instance here, it's got the /dev, and this one does not have it. So these are two separate instances. If I expand the source, for example, let's call this source and call this destination. If I expand the products database and expand the tables and refresh it, you'll see that I don't have any user-defined tables. However, if I go down here on the destination and if I expand the AdventureWorks and tables, I've got obviously plenty of them. What I want to do now is I want to be able to access this data from on this server and be able to either use that data for reporting systems or select statements or queries. But obviously, let's see what happens before I even create it. So as you can see, this is a select statement that's using what's called a fully qualified name. The fully qualified name is the server name, the database name, the schema, and the table. And as you can see in this particular case, there's the database name, which is this. This is the AdventureWorks database, which is this. And obviously the schema and table is person contact type, which is this right here. So if I right click here, go select top 100, you'll see that I should be able to get access to 20 rows. So let me close that. So basically what we're trying to do is in this instance, be able to access data here and query this database and this information. And why would you want to do that? Well, we would certainly want to do that for reporting system where this could be a reporting instance and this could be our production database. And we're trying to get the data from here, from here to here. That's one of the reasons, and there are many more. So if I execute this query right now, and it's asking me to write a select statement against this database on this server. If I execute it, I'm going to get this error saying that this server does not exist. And it does not exist because we do not have a linkage between this instance or this instance. And that's what a linked server does. Just like the name suggests, it links these instances together. So let's do that. So in order for me to do a linked server so I can access this data from here and manipulate data here, we need to create a linked server. And the way you do that is on the source, go to server objects, and there you'll see the linked server folder. Right click, new linked server. And obviously here you'll have the type, either select an ODBC connection from other data sources, and these are the types, but we don't want to do that. We are connecting directly to an SQL instance. So we're going to go here, and we're going to obviously paste the name, if I have it, of this database, which is the destination. This is what I want to connect to so I can access the data from here on this. Go to securities, and I want to add my login that has remote access to this database. And in this case, it's this one right here. If I expand it, it's there. And I want to click impersonate. As soon as I go OK here, I've created what's called a linked server, as you can see. So there's the linked server, and this is the server that I'm linked to. If I expand this, expand catalogs, you can see these all the catalogs are the databases that now I can query against on the dev instant. So let's see now if I can execute this. And remember, I couldn't execute it because I got this error, but now that I've got a linked server, I can access that data. Great. So the other thing that you can do, obviously, once you've created a linked server, is you can obviously insert data from here into here. And obviously now, when we get into SSI packages, which is integration packages, I'm going to be talking about this movement of data from source to destination a lot more. But for our purposes, this is fine. So I want to take this database, AdventureWorks, and this table. And now for reporting systems, I want the data to be, this data to be contained here in this prod database. If I refresh this, again, you don't see any database, you don't see any tables. So I can do a select into using the fully qualified name. And if I do select this, execute, I've got 20 rows. And now if I go to tables here and refresh, you'll see that indeed I have the table. If I right click, and there we go, 20 rows. So now with the usage of a linked server, I was able to access data from another instance or another platform. Now, obviously, this platform, once you have ODBC connections, can be an Oracle database, it can be a Microsoft Access database, it can be a Postgres database, or any databases that uses an ODBC connection. So that's how you use a linked server and its primary purpose. And you certainly will be using linked servers in a heterogeneous environment, which most companies are. And that's the way to retrieve data from those heterogeneous. So this is an example of how to connect instances to different platforms using a linked server. So I'll just leave it now. Well, before I leave it, one thing is obviously you can do this through, as you know, through creating of store procedures. Now, the way to do that, once you've created this, I will certainly create this. And what I always do is just for a backup, I always create a T-SQL script. So I'm not going to write all this. I'm going to go script, linked server, create new window. And there it is. And obviously I can actually delete this and refresh this and it'll start again. So actually, let me close this, drop and create. And now watch, I'm going to delete this instance or delete this linked server. It's gone. And now once I've saved this, and you can certainly, I can give you this property. Obviously, these are the Sprox add SP add link server, SP add login, and so on. And you would have to provide the appropriate login here and password and so on. Now that we've got rid of this, if I just execute this and refresh this, obviously there's the database again, and back I can start doing select statement. So that's a good way. Always script out your problematic things, because if you get a little corruption here, rather than going through the GUI and doing all that extra work, it's very easy just to execute this. And I'm not going to give you this. You can certainly script it out yourself because yours will be slightly different than mine, but you get the idea. So that's it. So this is how you use a linked server, and its primary purpose is to access data from either a homogeneous or a heterogeneous environment. So I'll leave it there and I'll see you in the next video. So my name is Raphael, and this is how to become a production SQL database administrator. See you in the next video.